Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. All right, there's only one place to start, and that's with an apology. Mr. Shakur Stevenson, I apologize. How dare I doubt your greatness and your ability. And look, the good thing about life experiences is that they are life experiences, right? You move on from them, you learn from them, and I've certainly learned from what I saw, 7-8 hours ago. This guy is brilliant. He's a genius. Shakur Stevenson fans, I apologize to you guys as well that are in my DMs this morning. I deserve it. Keep them coming. And look, understand when I say doubt your greatness and ability, I've always said, and you guys can check my videos, that if Shakur Stevenson isn't pound for pound number one and doesn't rule boxing, there's a problem somewhere. So I've always said that this guy is going to be very, very special. I even said he will go up to 147. And I think he was at 130 at the time. So I've always looked at him and said this guy is just incredible. But he might be Mayweather Crawford incredible. And that's why I say I apologize for doubting his greatness. Like, there was no doubt that this guy was going to be a superstar. But there are levels, right? There are levels of superstar. There are levels of pound for pound fighters. He might just be, as I said, Crawford level. He might be Floyd level. There might be one thing holding him back. We'll get to that in a second. But he is an incredible talent. And, you know, when I see fighters like that, I just feel blessed to be in the era, right, to watch them. Because there would have been some people, you know, slightly older than me that would have watched Pernell Whitaker deeply. I wasn't old enough. There would have been some a bit older than that. Sugar Ray Leonard, some a bit older than that. Muhammad Ali. I'm lucky that I've been able to watch Floyd and Terence and Usyk and, you know, you can chuck in Canelo and Bivol and Inoue and Shakur Stevenson. That we're quite fortunate that we're getting all this talent in our era, in our lifetime, where we understand what we're watching. And I understand brilliance. And that boy is brilliant. That boy is brilliant. Understand who he beat. He beat Teofimo Lopez, who, yes, has had his issues. I think we see that against Cambosos and to an extent against Sandor Martin. But Teofimo Lopez was recognized by everyone as the best 140-pounder. Shakur Stevenson, in his first fight in the division, has gone to fight the best, and it's a shutout. It's a shutout. There wasn't a mark on him. Like, Teo barely landed a glove. And some people will talk about Teo's game plan. Some people will talk about the corner work from his father, which was non-existent and just awful, atrocious. Like, I could have given him better advice, right? Like, where's your power isn't advice. That's stupid, right? But ultimately, the guy he's fighting is just a genius. The guy he's fighting is so good. It's almost fucking Neo in the Matrix, where he sees everything in slow motion. Like, he's seeing what Teo's going to do in slow motion. Like, I thought, you know what I thought? I thought Teo, in the lead up to this fight, was trying to get under the skin of Shakur Stevenson so that Shakur comes out and fights him. Because Teo isn't good when, I don't think Teo's good when he has to be the aggressor. I think he's actually quite good when people try and put it on him. And then he kind of fights fire with fire. Teo came out and he was the aggressor. I'm like, okay, have I got this wrong? You're going to try and be the aggressor against arguably the best defensive fighter in the game today? It's not going to work. Like, it ain't going to work. Zepeda tried that. And Zepeda throws a lot more punches and bunches, like not single shots. And Zepeda couldn't land a glove. You're not going to land a glove. Just ain't going to happen. So I was surprised by his tactics. But ultimately, I was like, okay, this guy is just too good. And I've read this completely wrong. Like, this is, again, a very special fight. And sometimes you don't know unless they're in there with someone that is equally, or at least as you thought at the time, equally special. Like, I wasn't overly praising him for the Zepeda fight because I know Zepeda's good, but I never thought Zepeda was great because I saw Zepeda twice against Tevin Farmer and I was like, And I think we all saw what Floyd Schofield did to Tevin Farmer, right? So I was like, you know, you're not going to get that much credit for that. You're not going to get that much credit for Oscar Valdez because Oscar Valdez, again, is good, but he's not, you know, you're not going to get that much credit for Jamal Herring, who at the time was obviously on the slide. You're going to get all the credit now because there are no excuses. Teo's not, you know, done. Teo's not by any stretch of the imagination on the back nine. Like, Teo's still very, very good. Like, when everyone does their pound for pound list, Teo's the guy that's always around 11 or 12. Maybe he hasn't crept in to the top 10 pound for pound in the last couple of years, but he's there. He's right there. So he's beaten a fellow pound for pounder. He shut out a fellow pound for pounder, someone from his era. And bear in mind, Teo's always been a big boy. Shakur Stevenson's coming up from the smaller weight classes, and Shakur bullied him at times. Shakur even said in the corner, didn't he? Like, I'm stronger than him. I can feel it. And, you know, when you clinch with someone, you know, like if you've sparred or anything, you just know when you clinch with someone, you're like, whoa, wait 1 second. I can push this guy back and bully him a bit. Remember, Teo's supposed to be the bigger guy. Teo's the one that's been calling out Crawford when Crawford was 147. Teo called him out when he was at 154, saying, I'll get to 154. Teo's a big, strong guy. And Shakur just bullied him. Outboxed him on the back foot, outboxed him on the front foot. Every time Teo came in and kind of tripped himself, going over his front foot, the punches and bunches and just the single shots were just beautiful from Shakur Stevenson. Beautiful. We might have something here, you know. We might have something because, I mean, I look at that 147 division and look, there's still work to be done if he wants at 140. But I look at the 147 division and, I mean, who's stopping him? Like what? There's no like massive 147. Again, Boots is the guy, right? When Boots was there, I would have said, oh, Boots, because Boots is too big. Boots maybe isn't as skilled as Shakur Stevenson, but Boots is so big, he's so aggressive. Boots. Maybe make the argument about Virgil as well. Again, so good, so aggressive, Virgil. I look at these guys now. Devon, not as aggressive, and is a very good boxer, but isn't as good a boxer as Shakur Stevenson. Lewis Crocker, no. You know, let's Barrios, no. Garcia, no. Conor Ben is interesting because Conor Ben's so aggressive, but no. Like, so this guy really could go to 147 and win a title there. I mean, he could be a 5-weight world champion in his next fight. He could. He's 28 years of age. 28. You know, it's crazy. I saw something today. This is a bit of a going off track here, but I saw something today about the weight champions. Oscar De La Hoya was a 4-weight world champion at 24. I think some people sleep on how good Oscar was because of his antics now. Oscar De La Hoya was a 4-weight world champion at 24. Crazy. Broner at 25 was a 4-weight world champion. But you could argue that what thing he's doing, Shakur Stevenson is beating the best. Maybe didn't get the chance to do it at 135 because he didn't fight Javante, he didn't fight Devon, he didn't fight Vasily Lomachenko. But he's certainly done it now at 140. A fight with him and Loma would have been something to behold, you know. It would have been something to behold because he's the only fighter, in my mind, in and around that weight class in recent times that might have been able to compete with him skill for skill. In fact, I think Loma would have. And Loma's a bit more aggressive than Shakur as well. So that would have been a very, very interesting fight. You know what, yeah? I don't know how you beat Shakur Stevenson. Like, where is, and I was thinking about this today, like, where is the fucking Marcus Maidanas? Like, where is the Margaritos? Like, you know, when Floyd was at his very best at 147, you were like, the only people that might cause him problems are those type of guys that don't care to get hit as they come in, but carry a lot of power and just have gas tanks to burn. Maidana was that. Margarita was that. We saw the problems that Maidana gave Floyd. And everyone used to say that Floyd ducked Margarita. I don't know whether that's true. We're not going to go back in history, right? But where are those guys? I mean, is Alberto Puello that maybe? I mean, could that kind of style cause him problems? Matias, not anymore. Puello's maybe the only one right now that I'm like, maybe Puello. Just because Puello is so aggressive, it is so punches and bunches, but you can just see Shakur picking him off. Honestly, you can see him just, nope, this is too easy. I'm reading you. Like, this is comfortable. And everyone's talking about a fight between him and Keyshawn. Obviously, look, they're not going to fight each other unless the money is ridiculous. But the money won't be ridiculous because not everyone knows who Keyshawn is yet. Keyshawn needs to kind of grow his own career. And then, who knows, right? No, even Keyshawn, as good as Keyshawn is, and Keyshawn's a bit more aggressive, but this guy is a genius back foot fighter. Like, genius. And when he wants to go forward, he can go forward and hurt you. He can do that as well. It's very, very reminiscent of Floyd at 147. I'm not saying he is, before everyone jumps me, very reminiscent. Like, Pretty Boy Floyd at 135 was obviously a lot more aggressive. Floyd at 147 wasn't as aggressive because of the hand issues. But when he wanted to, he would put it on you when he wanted to. But most times he's counter-punching you, right? And that's what Shakur does very, very, very well. Honestly, very well. Super impressive. I'm not quite sure what next. Obviously, he called Conor Benn in the ring. Conor Benn's star power in America is through the roof. For those of you that don't know it, I think now you know it. For what is a pound for pounder, top 3, top 4, we'll get to where he is in a minute, to call out Conor Benn. Like, that's kind of crazy. Conor Benn's star power is really, really big. Conor Benn has so many options. It's crazy. So, yeah, I don't know what next. The dream fight isn't going to happen because obviously this guy's got issues, is Gervonta Davis. That's the dream fight. Devon's now at 147. Will Devon get down to 140? Will Shakur want to go up to 147? I don't know. But you look at the champions at 140. It's Dalton Smith. It's Richardson Hitchens. It is, who am I missing? It is Shakur Stevenson now. Missing one. I'm missing one. WBC, IBF, WBO. Who's the WBA? You guys are going to be screaming. It's this person. It's this person. I can't remember who that is. But regardless of who it is, I mean, are they ready? And the answer, unfortunately, I think is not yet. Not yet. And this is the issue. When you are a champion, you got to fight fellow champions. But I don't think the other champions are ready for this champion. It is what it is. Where is he in the pound for pound? Bear in mind, this was a complete shutout for me. Like, the only round that Teo got was a round that Shakur clearly took off. Like, if you watch it, go back and watch it. I've watched that fight now twice in its entirety. He takes that round off. This isn't Teo doing anything drastic. This is Shakur saying, oh, I'm just going to chill out here. Like, I'm so comfortable. I'm just going to chill out, and you can have a couple of body shots if you want, and you can nick around. That was it. So for me, it was a 120. Well, it was officially 119, 109, but I could see if Shakur wanted that to be 120, 108, it could have been. My only issue with Shakur is this. I said Floyd and Terence. Floyd, we know what was like, how aggressive he was at 135. Even Floyd at 147 was very, very aggressive when he needed to be. I wish Shakur could just, I feel like there's another 2 or 3 gears he can go up to and really get rid of these guys and make statements. Like, make statements. What Crawford did to Spence, maybe. He can do that. Does he have the same punch power as Crawford? No. Obviously, we know the issue with the hands, and maybe he just doesn't carry that power. But he hurts these guys. He hurts them, and I feel like he can get rid of them if he wants to. But it's almost as though, like, he gets to a level, and then he decides just to cruise. Like, it will go through the gears early, as he did against Teo. Go through them early, as he did against Zepeda. And then when it's like he knows I'm 8 rounds up. Why am I risking it? Why am I going for the kill? I don't need to go for the kill. Whereas I think if he went for the kill, I mean, look, I think he's already a superstar, but I think his global reach would be even bigger. Because there are some people that want to see knockouts, just how it is. I don't mind it. I like to watch the beauty and art of boxing. And look, if I get a knockout, I'll get a knockout, right? I can go to other fighters for those kind of thrills. But if he could just put that into his game, it will be like Crawford. It will be, because one thing Crawford has is aggression. Crawford outbox you, then he want to hurt you. And I feel like Shakur has that, but chooses not to do it. That's my only thing with him. Apart from that, this boy's perfect. He talks the talk, he walks the walk, and as I said, I would never ever doubt him again. As for Teo, this is gonna sting. This is gonna sting because, I mean, you were talking the most. I mean, Teo has been speaking reckless for a long time. And for him to deliver that was, I mean, this is his biggest night. Loma wasn't his biggest night. That came during COVID. Right? It wasn't his biggest night. Josh Taylor wasn't his biggest night because it was a very big win. That wasn't his big. This was his biggest night. These are his peers. These guys, these type of fights are the ones that everyone's been talking about, right? Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Gervonta. They've all been grouped for a long time. And you've just literally been whitewashed by one of your peers in your weight class. In your weight class. Not struggling to make a weight where you got to go down and this guy's trying to kill me in your own weight class. Yeah. He's old enough now to look at his setup properly. The dad thing is stupid. I mean, he's got to ask himself, and I don't know if his dad is his number one trainer. I don't know if that's the case in camp, and his dad just kind of takes over and is the corner man. But you've got to do a bit like what Chris Eubank did, right? You've got to say enough. I'm sorry, for the betterment of my career, Dad, you're my dad, forever will be my dad, but I've got to get an elite trainer in. I've got to get, because that wasn't supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen. Like, as I said, Teofimo Lopez is also a very good fighter. Is he a great fighter? Those discussions will be had now, I'm guessing. You're not supposed to get shot out like that. You're supposed to have a proper game plan. I saw nothing. Like, literally, I saw nothing. And it was embarrassing. And even his post-fight speech, I don't know what he's talking about, ending slavery or I was like, you've lost me again. You've lost me. Those things might sound sort of articulate and sort of, I don't know, insightful when you win. When you lose, everyone's like, just shut up. Just shut up. So I don't know what he does. I tweeted that he might be out the ring for a long, long time just because of not the embarrassment of losing, because again, he lost to, I think, someone that's going to go down as one of the greats, but just, it was very lackluster and just flat. Like, I thought Madison Square Garden sounded flat. And look, I've, watched fights at Madison Square Garden. I've been there. Katie Telesarano, when that place is rocking, and only rocks when the fighters give it something to rock with. It's the same as any sport, right? If on the field or on the pitch isn't exciting, the fans aren't going to sort of reciprocate, right? They're going to need something. So the fans only reciprocate when they get what they want on the pitch. And in the ring, just didn't give anything to them. So it was just flat. His performance was flat, and I don't know what he's going to do. All right, I just want to quickly talk about Jerrell Miller and that hairpiece. How embarrassing was that? I find it very embarrassing. I know people were laughing about it, and it was quite funny, but what are you doing, dude? Like, and you know what it is? If it wasn't for someone of Jerrell Miller's character, I probably wouldn't say anything. But Jerrell Miller's got that kind of character where he would absolutely destroy someone if someone did that. He would destroy. Man's wearing a hairpiece. Let it go. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay to have a bald head. It's all right. Let it go. How are you wearing a hairpiece? And then you decide to get a hairpiece. And look, no disrespect to the guy that did it. He probably does a good job putting up hairpieces for people. But then you decide to get a hairpiece and then fight with it? Like, obviously, unless that fucking thing is stitched to your head, obviously, when you're sweating, and here's a 330-pound guy, when you're sweating, obviously, that's going to cause a problem to the hairpiece. I found that very embarrassing. I didn't find his performance very great either. I mean, Ibe's actually a tough fighter. I think he's only one defeat to Jared Anderson, right? Got stopped in the final round of that one as a 6th rounder. That was many moons ago. He is very much in the 3rd tier of heavyweights. Like, he'll give a lot of our Brits good rounds. He might beat a couple, actually, come to think of it. But I don't know where Jerrell Miller is. Jerrell Miller will get on cards and will get fights because he's Jerrell Miller. He's very boisterous. I think he's fantastic for a fight card. But you got to start delivering in the ring. It wasn't great against Andy Ruiz. A draw. I thought he nicked it, but it wasn't great. And this is the first fight back since then. He's got to find what weight works for him. He's 37 now. I get this big Miller thing. I'm bigger and stronger than all of you guys. But find a weight that is your best weight to perform at. And 300, and what was it? Let me get the exact weight. I think it was like 333 pounds, wasn't it? What was it? 317 pounds just ain't that. Like, he was 305 for Andy Ruiz, a bit better. 333 for Dubois. 333 for Lucas Brown. He should not be this big. 341 for Bracamonte. He's just too big. He's just too big. When was the last time he was below? The last time he was below the 300s was 2017 against Marius Vac. He was 283. Sorry, you need to get back down to that weight. You need, like, this isn't the land of the giants anymore. You don't need to be this big. You know what I mean? There are no fucking Nikolai Valuevs floating around. You don't need to be this big anymore. You don't. I've always said this, and I know it's different because his name's Alexander Usyk, but fucking Usyk's 220. What was Usyk? 227, 230 max. The best heavyweight in the world. One of the best heavyweights ever. And you are nearly 100 pounds bigger than him. Sort it out. Anyway, guys, girls, we're done.